Hello again, Success Partner audience. This is another breaking news and not one of our regular podcasts, but I'm very happy today. To introduce myself again, of course, day and age. Thank you for listening. And I have Gerry Nowotny, who is an attorney, going to give us a little bit of predictions about the new administration, areas that he sees in his client practice.
Yeah, so I think I'm a tax attorney, so I think all my comments will relate to tax. But my prediction is, at least prediction number one is, I think all the money that was from the Inflation Reduction Act that went for the IRS $80 billion, 40 billion for technology improvements, 40 billion for new staff, and I personally think that's going to get dialed back a lot. I'm not sure constitutionally how the House Ways and Means Committee, but I think the new administration will find a way, and I think a lot of the big initiative that was going to be directed towards high net worth taxpayers, it may take a little time to catch up, but I think with new senior leadership, coming in at the IRS, I think a lot of the priorities, including that priority, will shift. Enforcement will always be around. It should be around, but I do think that the fixation on high net worth taxpayers will levelize.
Okay. That's interesting. And so the things that are going to roll out, what do you think is going to happen first, and what should we be concerned about?
Yes, I think that the first things first, I have not heard, at least, and that I'm aware of, some of the new appointments for new IRS commissioner. I've had an opportunity in some CLE programs to hear and see some senior IRS people, that run the different business units, and they've talked about how in the last 2 years, how the great success I've heard. Criminal investigation of IRS, speak on a couple of these panels. They're not going out of business anytime soon, but I do think that there's a high net worth, a high income taxpayer initiative. I just think that the hyper focus on that is going to get dialed back.
Going to dial back.
Yeah.
Okay. What is high net worth? What does that mean to?
Well, I think that the IRS focus on taxpayers making at least 400,000, maybe on $1 million plus. I was a little surprised to hear them say that there is surprisingly an alarming number of taxpayers who make over $1 million that have not filed returns in a lot of years. So obviously that's low hanging fruit for them. So they focus on that. On this one program I was on, they had mentioned that there is, if you owe the IRS a bunch of money, they will put a what's the word I'm looking for? They'll put a block on your passport so you can't travel out of the country. So when that happens, they said, you're surprised how quickly taxpayers respond. Here's $1 million for my back taxes.
Wow. Yeah. I've heard there's a driver's license freeze too for something. I can't remember what, but
yes, I think all those things they did, it works. And
yes.
Of course, on the criminal investigation side, the IRS successfully prosecutes. Maybe they have 4,000 to 5,000 cases a year with a prosecution success rate in excess of 90%.
Oh yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
they have the information.
Yeah. So I think in terms of the tax planning, there had been multi pension plans, which there's been a long standing investigation related to that, and it's my thinking, hope, expectation. I think that will also either die a quick death or a slow death, when the new administration comes in.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was always, for a lot of IRS controversy attorneys, that was, highly questionable that they had started with a criminal investigation, given that, typically to have a criminal investigation, you have to have a crime. And, even, someone I know that had been a deputy number 2 man at the IRS, had said like, yeah, this is an investigation looking for a crime because, as far as anyone can see, there isn't one. Yeah. But I think that'll die a quick death as well.
Okay, good. All right. So some high net worth people in my audience are breathing a small sigh of relief.
An area that I'm highly focused in, or have been in the past, private placement life insurance, planning with that, with the Republicans gaining a majority in the House and the Senate, but specifically the Senate, an area of, I think, fairly intense focus of the Senate Finance Committee. Senator Wyden was, looking to change the favorable taxation of life insurance, specifically as it relates to ultra high net worth taxpayers. There was a proposal, there were Senate hearings, and I think with again with the change of control in the Senate, and certainly Senator Wyden is out as the head of the Senate Finance Committee. I think all the priorities will shift, and I personally never thought that focus was ever going anywhere. Just given the size and the power and clout of the American Council of Life Insurers and the agents lobby, which is called NAFA, that focus will disappear.
All right. Well, good. Well, I really appreciate that. And so, like, what type of clients do you typically represent?
Yeah, I typically represent business owners. Typically, business owner, looking at reduction and deferral strategies, or investors, selling capital assets at a large gain, looking at strategies to mitigate, reduce, eliminate, defer tax consequences.
That's awesome. And so, how would our listeners find you if they wanted some more information or an appointment?
So my website is www.grnowotny, law.com. And all the details are there.
Awesome. Great. I know you're also on LinkedIn and JD Supra as well. Wonderful. Well, thank you everybody for listening. This has been a breaking news update. We've been getting information from different practitioners in different practice areas to see how the new administration is going to affect them and their clients. So stay tuned.